Most people in the Deadlock community right now are awaiting that next big Deadlock update. And just yesterday, we got some official confirmation from the developers of when that next Deadlock update could be. And within the past week, we've gotten some updates to things like matchmaking, some information on the next balance patch, as well as some news about just how big this next update will actually be. So if you're a big fan of Deadlock and you want to stay up to date with all the news, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Deadlock news or updates in the future. Yoshi was actually pretty active in the Discord yesterday, answering questions from a few different people. Someone asked Yoshi if we're getting a balance patch soon, and he said yeah, likely this week, but not sure yet. So if you're getting sick and tired of the meta in Deadlock right now, which I know a lot of players are, this is good news to hear, as it's seeming pretty likely that we're going to be getting a balance patch either at the end of this week or the beginning of next week. And Yoshi actually gave us a sneak peek of one of the balance changes that's coming with the next balance patch. Someone jokingly asked Yoshi if they'll remove Lash's gun because gun lash is actually a meta option right now, and Yoshi just responded with a thumbs up, which in my opinion can be interpreted as they are going to be nerfing Lash's gun in this next balance patch. So as I said, we got some official confirmation of the next content update coming to Deadlock. Over the weekend, Deadlock Intel reported that 26 new versions were added to the experimental version of Deadlock. They also told us the last couple times that we've seen this many version changes at once to the experimental build. In the days leading up to the 6 Heroes update, which included heroes like Mina and Doorman, there was 36 version changes on August 16th, and then another 20 version changes on August 17th, followed by the update. And in the days leading up to the Old Gods and New Blood update, on January 20th, there were 10 version changes. The 21st was 14 changes, and the 22nd was 21 changes, and then the update came out. So 26 new versions being added to the experimental build could indicate that the developers are prepping this update to go live. In the official Deadlock Discord, someone actually asked the developer Yoshi if there was any news about the content update or is it too early to talk about that. Yoshi responded by just saying that it was too early, but that's not a confirmation either way of how far along that update is and how much longer we'll have to wait before it comes out. In my opinion, we're just a couple weeks away from that next update, as it's been about 4 months since the last major content update with the Old Gods and New Blood patch. There's a lot of speculation about what could be included in this next update, and the most common theory of course is the remodels for some of the older heroes in the game, as well as potentially some reskins for some objectives like walkers, guardians, and maybe even the jungle camps. There's also of course been rumors about another game mode coming to Deadlock, like an escort mode, as well as the leaked PvE mode that we haven't really heard anything about since the initial leaks. But this isn't all of the news that we have to talk about in this video, because over the last couple weeks we've seen some changes to matchmaking, as well as some more items getting their icons changed yet again, and we also got an inside look into how the developers are currently looking at the matchmaking and implementing some new technology for Smurf detection. So to start off, a small update went out yesterday and it might affect some of you that are currently watching this video. As of today, if you're an Eternus player, you must select at least 2 heroes as your highest priority in order to queue. Previously, if you were an Eternus player, you're just like everyone else, you only had to priority queue 1 hero. But after this most recent patch, you now have to priority at least 2 heroes. This may have been implemented for the developers to get a better understanding of the current meta heroes in the game, or for them to just gather some more statistics on how Eternus players are currently playing the game, in order to get ready for a possible ranked mode in the future alongside an official draft system. The update yesterday also changed how the games are handled when it comes to abandons. If someone leaves your game, it must be before the first blood for a match to not be scored. This means that if you're 5 minutes into a game, there's probably been at least 1 kill somewhere on the map. So if someone leaves the game now, the match will be scored no matter what. Previously, this was handled just based off in-game time, but now if there's a first blood just 30 seconds into the game and someone on your team leaves, the match is going to be scored, so it's probably going to be a loss. I also wanted to quickly cover that Diviner's Kevlar got a new icon once again. It was changed last week to the one on the bottom, but just yesterday it was now changed again to the one on the top. The developers have been on quite a streak recently in the past couple weeks of changing the icons for items. Just like how we saw Boundless Spirit, Shadow Weave, Trophy Collector, Toxic Bullets, Healbane all get new icons. It seems like they're not quite done yet, so there could be some more new icons coming for some existing items in the next update. I also mentioned how the developers were experimenting with Smurf detection, and Yoshi did confirm that there was Smurf detection and account sharing detection that was being tested quite recently. Someone asked him about the matchmaking changes that happened just a couple weeks ago, where your effectiveness and habits while using active items would affect your rank. And Yoshi said this: "I wouldn't try optimizing around doing anything beyond just what it takes to win. Recently, we've been experimenting with different ways to try detecting Smurfs, account buyers, or players at significantly wrong MMR values. And we've had some days recently that were especially not calibrated well. But in general, we aren't actively trying to reward normal players much beyond just winning or losing. It'll take us a bit more time to properly calibrate and factor everything in, but it's something we are currently working on to minimize its impacts in normal even games." So what this means is that the developers are currently finding ways to detect Smurfs based on their behavior when using things like active items. The developers know that if you're a new player, there is quite a steep learning curve to Deadlock, and you're not going to be immediately buying and effectively using active items, if at all. So if they see a new player who is immediately acting like they have experience, they're testing their boundaries for detecting players like this as Smurfs or account buyers. And this should be great news for a lot of players who just want to play Deadlock without worrying about Smurfs. I wanted to end this video by just going over some general Deadlock news about things like esports and how well the game is overall performing. Deadlock has now climbed to the top of Steam's list of most anticipated games. I still see quite a lot of comments on my videos of people who'd want to play Deadlock but they don't know how to get access. My advice if you want to play Deadlock right now and you currently don't have access is go to any community Discord server as well as the Deadlock Reddit, and there's plenty of people there who will help you out and send you an invite through Steam. And if you're a big fan of Deadlock Esports and a viewer of the Deadlock Night Shift, this next piece of news is definitely one you want to pay attention to. We have official confirmation of a Deadlock LAN tournament that will take place on August 8th through the 9th at the Guild House in America. Between 6 and 8 teams will compete for the grand prize, and you can watch the entire LAN event on stream. The Guild House complex is located in San Jose, California, and features an 18,000 square foot venue. So if you're into Deadlock Esports or competitive Deadlock at all, keep your eyes on this event, as it will be one of the first Deadlock LAN tournaments that we will see. I'm sure some of your favorite teams and players will be there competing, and it will give us a good insight into how LAN events will be run going into the future as Deadlock supports esports more and more. As I say at the end of all of my videos, Deadlock is going to continue to grow in 2026, so if you're a new player or a veteran Deadlock player, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Deadlock news or updates going into the future. Leave a comment down below if you're excited for the balance patch that we could see at the end of the week, as well as your ideas of what's going to be in the next big content update that's coming to the game very shortly. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Later.